Hello, everyone. Hope you all had a great Christmas with your friends and family. Unless you live under a rock, you probably will already know that the Dow Jones gained 1,000 points today, and this is what I refer to as the Santa Claus rally. Stocks climbed higher throughout the day. It was not just your Dow Jones and your S&P gaining almost 5%. Your NASDAQ gained 6%. You had individual companies like Apple and Facebook gaining 8%. In addition, with a lot of other companies out there gaining almost 10%, and that includes AMD, Amazon, Nvidia as well. As you can see here in this chart for the Dow Jones, that actually opened up a little bit higher, but it started dipping through within 1 hour of market trading. However, it just started climbing higher and higher and higher, and it closed at the all-time high during the day. And in this video, I'll go over the 4 reasons where I think the market climbed much higher. So I'll talk about all of that a little bit later. Before I do that, I do want to show you a very interesting table that was created by Charlie, and I found this on Twitter. He talks about how the Dow Jones closing at 1,000 points. This is the largest single day point advancement in history. So you can actually look at all of these numbers. Very interesting numbers to look at. But to be very fair, simply looking at the point up is never a very fair way to measure things. I actually prefer to look at percentages. So here's a very interesting graph that shows you the S&P 500, where there's 4% greater movements during the day. This is greater than 4%, by the way. So only on the upside. And one interesting thing to notice is that most of those very volatile movements going up actually occurs during times when the market is actually on the downtrend. As you can see from 2000 to 2003, as well as 2008 to 2009, a lot of orange dots happening. So just something to kind of keep a close eye on. So just beware, you guys. It might be a sucker rally, FYI. Now, let's go into the 4 reasons why the market rallied much, much higher today. The first reason, and I'm going to go over all 4 reasons, and then I'll individually go specifically into digging into each one of them. So the first reason would be Amazon reporting record holiday sales. The second reason would be how Donald Trump, on Christmas Day, he actually talked about how the S&P and the Dow being down 20% provided a tremendous opportunity to buy the dip. The third reason would be that we actually got assurance from Kevin Hassett, where he's saying that Jerome Powell, who is the Fed chairman, his job is 100% safe. And the fourth reason for the market rally would be that the stock market, they're looking forward to a U.S. government official who will be traveling to Beijing in 2 weeks on January 7th to talk with the Beijing people over there about the trade war. So those are the 4 reasons. Now let's actually dive deeper into each one of those 4 reasons on why the market rally. So the first one, as I mentioned, is Amazon. So Amazon today, Amazon's up mightily, almost 8 to 9%. Amazon talked about how there's record-breaking holiday sales, as well as Amazon reporting very good numbers on Prime membership. And the implication here is that if consumers are spending a lot during the holiday season, Christmas time, what that implies is that the economy is continuing to be very strong. Consumers got extra disposable income that they have. This is money where if they don't necessarily need to
save up. This is money where they can freely spend and they'll still be in an okay shape. Just in case you're curious, some of the top devices that Amazon sold were Echo Dot products. So just something to kind of keep in your mind. The second reason why it seems like the market rallied was also a pump from Donald Trump. On Christmas Day, he was telling people how the economy is strong, and this is he specifically, word for word, he said, so I think it's a tremendous opportunity to buy. Really a great opportunity to buy. I think his pump actually worked a little bit. The third reason, which is probably the main reason, is the White House does reassure investors that Jerome Powell's job as Fed chairman is 100% safe. And this is coming from a guy named Kevin Hassett, who is the chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors. Now, the implication here, and the reason why this is extremely important, and probably the main reason for rally in the market, is because if, for example, Jerome Powell got fired for simply raising the Fed funds rate, what that simply implies is that the U.S. government is overstepping its boundaries and that other countries will now not trust the Federal Reserve as much. Because the beauty of the Federal Reserve and the U.S. government is that they're supposed to be independent from each other. And if Donald Trump were to fire Powell for simply doing his job, that will undermine the role of the Federal Reserve in being independent and not following the rule of the government. Now, it is very interesting and important to note that Donald Trump will be meeting potentially, this is just rumored, sometime in the new year. And this actually might make it a little bit easier where Donald Trump can talk about how he's feeling to Powell face-to-face as opposed to through Twitter as he's done so far. So this could actually help ease any tensions and actually maybe turn Powell a little bit more dovish. And finally, the fourth reason on why the market rallied, this is probably why the market kind of closed at the all-time high. But, the U.S. will be sending a representative over to China to actually meet face-to-face with the Chinese team regarding the trade negotiation. And the significance here is that this scheduled meeting is simply just to make sure that China is working on their words on what they'll say in regards to improving the tariff trade situation. And if Beijing doesn't do anything about it, then the problem is that the U.S. will simply increase the tariff percentages from 10% to 25% on $20 billion worth of annual imports from China that would take place in March. So this is actually a very good reassurance to the market that the U.S. and China talk, it is resuming, it is continuing to improve, and this will be happening on the week of January 7th. So just something to bear in mind if you do have a put position open. This week might actually be a very bad week for people who plan to short the market. This actually might be a very bullish sign for the stock market. So again, the market rallied today, very strong move to the upside. Simply based on the Amazon record-breaking sales number, the Donald Trump pump, assurance that Jay Powell's job is safe, in addition to trade discussion between U.S. and China that will take place on the first week of January 7th. So thank you all again for listening. If you liked the video, please drop a like or subscribe. As well, if you leave a comment below, I'll take take a look at it and I'll reply back to you. And thank you all for taking your time to watch the video. Until next time, thank you all again. Bye.